Hello, everybody. I decided to do a video for the current Flowgorithm assignment. I got a couple requests saying that maybe this one was a little tricky. So I'll stumble through this one along with you guys. I haven't really done this one myself yet since last year. So let's just go through the line. Start your program. We need two variables, target and the guest number. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and declare our first variable. We'll call it target, and it will be a integer. And then we'll have a new one. We'll declare it. It will be called guest. All right, so two variables with reasonable names. And then we need to populate the target variable with the random function. Okay, somebody asked me, we haven't really gone over that yet. I would just Google that. So random logarithm. There we go. Logarithm random function is random n. Okay, so let's see if we can test that. So assign target as random n. What is n? Random between 0 and n minus 1. All right, so there's no requirement of how big or small the number should be, so we're just going to go between 0 and 50. So if we put 50, that's going to be a random number between 0 and n minus 1, so between 0 and 49. All right, let's just test it real fast. So we're going to just output our variable called target, and let's see what happens. So yeah, it gave us a random number between 0 and 50. Perfect. All right. So now we are going to prompt the user for a guess and store the response in guessed. All right. So we're going to actually output guess a number between 0 and 49. All right. Contains a typo. Maybe this needs to be in a quotation, and we'll go back to the docs if there's an issue. Oh, all right. So output a number between 0 and 49. Perfect. Now we're going to take an input, and the user will fill in guessed. Okay. And then we can print out you guessed let's see how they do string printing in Flowgorithm. So Flowgorithm string print or output. Anyway, output. So in an output statement, and it's space. Okay. So n space guessed. Let's see if this works. All right. Guess a number between 0 and 49. I guess 10. You guess 10. Perfect. Okay, so far so good. So we have declared two variables, and we're using a random to set random to target, and then we're prompting the user for a guess and storing the response as guessed. All right, use a while loop to continue asking for a new guess as long as the guessed number doesn't match. Okay, so we'll use a while loop. So while target is not equal to guessed, while target is not equal to guessed, keep doing it if this is true. So yeah, if it's false, which means it is equal to, we will say output you guessed correctly, exclamation mark in quotes. Okay, let's try to limit this. So if it gives you, so if we set this to 2, the number is always going to be either 0 or 1. So, and then over here, we'll put you guessed and guessed, and then we'll just put here target for debugging purposes. All right, and let's play this. Guess a number between 0 and 1, I think it was. And so 1, you guessed 1, and it was 1, and you guessed correctly. Okay. Sorry, I forgot to put a space in between the two, but I think you got what just happened. So I guessed 1, the program guessed 1, and I got it. So we got this. Okay, so the program is working fine as far as checking for guessing. And let's stop telling, well, let's keep it in there for now. And let's see if this works. Let's put a comma here. You guessed this actual target was. And in the program, in the real program, we won't tell the user that. It didn't like that. Well, we'll just keep it out. There we go. You guessed this. Okay. So this what we call, there's usually a happy path and hmm, and a more complicated case usually when we're developing. So this is the happy path, right? Is we guess something, we guess correctly, boom, nothing else to worry about. Now we're gonna start doing the slightly more complicated flow. So continue to ask if you didn't get it right. So it's gonna go to, so can we? Let's see. So while target, okay, you're gonna keep guessing, right? When the user, so keep guessing if you haven't guessed it right. So over here, can we copy these? Input guessed, paste, perfect. And then let's paste this here. Okay. All right. So if our guess is not correct, just keep asking. Can you drag these? No. Oh, perfect. Okay. So guess a number between 0 and 49. Then the user gives them the number. Then we have an output confirmation, and then we have a check. And then we're basically repeating that here. It would be really nice if I was able to take this back up here, but I just don't have the experience with Flowgorithm to know if you could do that. So we just did a little copy paste here. So basically it's just going to keep pushing me to guess until I get the right one. And if I do get the right one, then it's going to go down here. Okay. And then when the user guesses the correct number or enters 999, it should verify whether the user has won. Okay. And then display the appropriate message. Okay. So if it is equal, you guess correctly. Um, or so if target is not equal to, how do you do or? Usually it's the two, what do you call them? The straight lines. Let's see what or is in Flowgorithm. So operators or logical or is the two straight lines. That's what I was talking about. I'm not sure. Pipe? I think they're called pipe. Or target is, so if it's equal to guessed, or if it's equal to minus 999. All right. So basically what's going to happen here is if none of these cases are met, we just keep going and guessing and guessing and guessing. However, if the user guessed the right one or minus 999, it's going to go down here. Okay. Before we were always saying you guessed correctly. Now we have two cases. So we're actually going to add an if statement before if. So if not target, but guessed. Because target will always stay the same. It'll always be the one random number. Guessed is going to change. All right. So if guessed equals minus 999. And so if it's true, then we're going to output you've chosen to quit. Goodbye. Keep forgetting the quotation marks. And then otherwise, can we cut this? Cut and paste. And it's just going to end after that. I think this is it. So we don't forget the comment. Is there a requirement for a comment? There is. Please don't forget to add a comment at the top with your name and your section. But basically, yep, we come in, we declare a target variable and a guessed variable. We set the target to a random number. You can decide on the range. And then we have the user guess a number. That number is saved. We also output it to confirm. And then we're comparing the guessed to the target and guessed to minus 999. If they guessed correctly, it's going to go down here. If they guessed minus 999, it's going to go down this way. If they didn't guess either of those, then it's just going to keep asking them to guess again. We can put before this you didn't get it. Either enter minus 999, or guess a number. All right, so that shows the user that they can enter that value to escape if they need to. And let's play the game. Guess a number between 0 and 49. 33. You guessed 33. You didn't get it. Enter minus 99. So let's check the flow. 25. Yep, it's going to keep going. Perfect. And then if I'm quitting, oh, so I said minus 999, but it didn't trigger. So we got to do some debugging. So you guessed 999, and then it didn't quit. Perhaps because something about comparing strings or integers, maybe. So let's see. I guessed 999, and then if guessed or, so so or means if either one is true, then it's gonna always go into true. We need to break out. So let's try to make this a little less complicated. All right. So if either one of these is true, we're gonna have to break out. So here, we're gonna flip the logic a little bit. We're going to, if target is not equal to guessed, and I hope that's the right and. Let's check here. Yep, and. Okay. As long as both of these situations are not true, we're going to keep repeating. If both of the, if any one becomes true, we're going to exit. Let's try to check this. All right, between 0 and 49, 39. You didn't get it. 38. You didn't get it. 26. You didn't get it. Minus 999. You've chosen to quit. Perfect. All right. But we still have to test to see if our happy path is still working, right? You guessed correctly. Goodbye. So how do we test a happy path? Well, it's going to be really hard to guess a number between 0 and 50, but I can guess a number between 0 and 1, hopefully. Guess a number between 0 and 1. I'm going to guess 1. You guessed correctly. All right. So if I do this again to check the not happy path, if I put 2 here, it's, yep, you didn't get it. You didn't get it. You didn't get it. 1. Interesting. Interesting. All right, well, that was the assignment. So you can set random to whatever you want, and you could be creative with the outputs, but that's basically how we're using while to keep repeating the same question again and again until our desired result is met. I could probably have made this a little simpler, but this is pretty straightforward to follow, I think. Um, yep. I saw some questions from people that are using the Mac version of Flowgorithm. They were having trouble turning in their assignments. So basically, when you go to save, what happens is Flowgorithm is running inside Wine, which is a software that emulates Windows file systems on your Mac. So it's basically made a little Windows emulation, which is a fancy way of saying when you try to save, this is actually saving inside the fake Windows make-believe system that is created on your Mac. So if you save here, you won't be able to find your Flowgorithm file. In order for you to submit your file, you need to actually save it on your Mac, which is this white slash file directory in here. So you're going to click this and then you're going to go down to system. Nope. You're going to go down to users and then you're going to pick your user. Hopefully there's not a ton there. And then you can either pick your documents folder or downloads and save it there. Once you save it inside here, you'll be able to reach it from your Finder app. All right, hopefully this assignment is easier to figure out now. Thanks for watching.